speaker. Our next speaker is Ms. Smita Verma, Mrs. Smita Verma. She is a product head in a leading insurance company. She has a successful career over 13 years across pharmaceutical devices and insurance sector. She's a certified coach, a yoga trainer, and she loves traveling. So she was born and brought up in Delhi. She's done her MBA from IIM Indore, and her goal in life is to live a simple life and a healthy life. So welcome, Smita.
Hi, thank you, Gina. Thank you, everyone, for organizing this event so beautifully, and thank you for inviting me. So, I was asked, I'll try to cover 3 points because most of the speakers before me have already covered what skills are required, what are the some of the platforms, some of the tools where you can get all the information, acquire all those skills and all. So, first, quickly, I'll share my teenage journey, what has changed from that time to this time, because I was specifically asked to answer that question. So the way technology has evolved our lives, it's been quite different. If I look back in 2008 when I completed my bachelor's, that time the way we used to seek information was quite different from how it is today. So if you need any information, let's start from the course research, or you want to apply to a specific college and you want to get the information. Nowadays you have every tool available. You can find alumni, you can talk to the people, you can go to the LinkedIn, send the connection request, talk to the person, can understand what is the scenario for the placement, how is the studies, how the faculty over there, what is the fee structure. You can compare those things over different Google platforms as well, Quora and other platforms, and you get as much as genuine comments because people like you and me are answering over there. However, 14 years back, such platforms were not there. Google was just entering into India. It was also evolving. Not so much content was available on the internet. And again, internet and computer itself was not so easily accessible. I bought my first desktop in third year of engineering. So while if I look back, if I have to apply to different colleges, first I have to rely only on the information which is available about these institutes from my teachers or from some of the friends. Especially if you are someone who has taken science for the first time in your family, you don't have that circle of cousins who can educate you about these college, the scenarios over there, etc., etc. And to get that information, your only source is the library, the content which is available and published in the magazine after lots of editing. Not like Quora where you are getting the comments, you are asking question and you are instantly getting the answer. No. And then you have to visit each campus. So it was not like you can get this prospectus online, you can get all the forms online like today. However, you have to visit each campus, you have to pay the fee, um, stand in queues, get the form, fill the form, then get the stamp from the school, submit that form physically in that campus. And navigating those campuses used to be again tough. But if you ask me, was it tough? At that time, it didn't feel tough because it was way of life. Now, if I look back, yeah, it has become very easy for you guys today. Do I
With
feel
the
jealous?
Smita, sorry, we have about a minute.
Only a minute?
Yeah, about 2 minutes max.
Okay, I thought I had 9 minutes, but never mind. So
Um,
basically, the
Sorry,
point I
finish.
want to drive, there are three things because nowadays so much information is available. We need to decide three things. Otherwise, uh, it's very easy to actually get lost in the ocean of information. Number one, what we are trying to achieve. So it has to be absolutely clear what I'm seeking. Number two, what is the scope of that information? If I want to get the information about the college or anything, sorry, Gina.
Sorry, Smita, I'm so sorry. My mistake. You have 9 minutes.
Yeah,
You have another 5 minutes. I'm very
okay,
sorry.
okay, no problem. Thank you.
Thanks.
So basically, three things are becomes very important when we have so much content, so much information available with us these days. Number one, what is my objective? What I want to research? If it is about a specific college, if I want to get admission into a particular college, okay. So engineering is one field. I want to research about the college which provides courses in engineering. Number two, scope of that. I may have the access to thousands of the institutes, but out of those thousands, what is my scope? 10 institute, 5 institute? Am I very specific about the location of the institute or about the fee structure? So that becomes my filter. So that is very important. And number three, the third point is more related to the way the information education is delivered to us, plus the way we are absorbing it. Correct. So India being theoretically driven, like Indian education system is more of theoretically driven system has been, and it is now shifting with lots of new tech companies coming into the play. However, in earlier times you have to visualize everything. Even if I'm a mechanical engineer, I have to make sense how a bottle would be looking like, for example, from the top view, front view, and side view. But there was nothing in front of me to basically see how it is functioning. Now you have that option available that you can go to YouTube, you can look at the 3D diagrams, you can look at even the picture and the functioning in motion. However, with so much content, now it becomes very important to ask this question. If I'm just absorbing the information, what I am transforming into? Am I just a replica of what is available on the internet? Then there is no value add. Right? So it becomes very important that whatever we are reading, we are thinking over it, we are asking, what am I extracting out of this information? What is my learning? And how I am going to apply this in my personal life or at my work? And that's the value add I'm bringing on the table for any company. Otherwise, there is no requirement for any talent, right? So what I am bringing on the table is my understanding, my insight, and how I am going to apply that over the work. So that becomes very, very important. As Gina has already mentioned, that my career paths span from various companies. Like I started my career from oil and gas sector post my engineering, then moved to health and healthcare and device industry, and few years back I moved to insurance. So it has actually passed all the circle of biology of field, which I used to scare me, but I ended up there too. So right now, I would like to tell you that in each of these industries, there are many, many multiple opportunities available for each field. If I just limit my scope to insurance right now, you have all sorts of jobs available. Even for doctors, we have medical underwriter job available. So if I talk about, yes, starting from sales, where you can become an agent or an employee to the company. So as an agent, you can start selling the products of the company. You have to appear for one exam, which is called IC38. Once you clear that exam, you get a license to sell insurance to different people. You can get a commission from the company for doing that. Another way, you can become an employee of the company, and then you can sell on the behalf of that company, and you get a fixed salary plus incentives. Beyond that, there is another department, which is underwriting department, because as an insurer, if I am providing insurance, I am assuming some risk over the life that I am insuring or over the health which I am insuring. So for that, to assess that risk, there are very expert departments. One is your financial underwriting, another is your medical underwriting. So there also you have lots of jobs, and it is specialized. There are courses available for that, and it's a big department. So we'll be surprised to know that insurance is one of the largest employer for this skilled or graduated workforce.
Smita, we have limited time, but I already have a question for you from the audience.
Hmm.
The question is, please share how was your experience being in insurance?
In insurance, it's been wonderful experience. So I started with absolute no knowledge about the insurance sector, because I was coming from healthcare. However, it's a learning curve. After learning, it initially it was a bit complicated. However, as I mentioned, I decided what I wanted to achieve. My job didn't require, but I actually chose to go for this IC38 certificate for myself, which is required for selling insurance. It was not required in my job, but that gave me the basic understanding about this field. And then it went up from there.
Okay. Thank you so
So,
much, Smita. I think we'll
thank
have
you.
to wrap up, but I'm extremely sorry for interrupting you unnecessarily earlier. My bad. And frankly, you simplified the entire process from the first step that you need to take towards any course and then the subsequent steps. And I, on a personal note, I love the way you spoke. Like you were
Thank
speaking
you.
so calmly, so nicely and softly, and I really liked that. So thank you so much, Nita.